morning, Houston. What's going on? Hey, Mastermind Alliance Publishing. You know, I know y'all. We've been bringing you a lot of programming. You know, I know we're moving fast and furious. Okay, on this episode is a very, very, very special episode. Okay, because I don't know if you guys had ever, watched a television show, $1 Million Listing. What we're in works to do is we're producing a show now, and this is the star of the reality series that we're about to present to you. It's called Houston's Next Listing. Okay, so a little bit more about this reality show. If you've seen the show $1 Million Listing, this is kind of like, it goes along the lines of that. It's a mixture between $1 Million Listing and Love and Real Estate. I don't know if you've seen those two shows, but this is going to be an amazing series, okay? So I want to introduce you to the main star of the reality series, Mr.
Bill Ucci.
Bill Ucci.
Yep.
So all of Missouri City, South Side, East Side, West Side, North Side, y'all belong to Mr.
Ucci. Well, Sugarland.
And Sugarland.
Yep. We go actually to above the loop, south of the loop, west, east, obviously, as you said, Katy. We cover a good part of Houston for sure. So.
Nice.
Yep.
You heard it from him, Houston. Let me ask you a question. How did you get into the real estate business? Could we have a little bit of history on you, please?
I used to run an eyeglass store in across the country, and we wound up opening in Orlando, Florida, and worked with my brother. You know how it is working with a family,
right?
So I wound up actually wanting to get into real estate business. I wound up getting right into real estate, getting out of the eyeglass business, and here I am. Wound up actually in 2009, closed over 200 transactions that year.
Nice.
In 2010, closed about 168.
Nice.
2011, closed just about 100.
Nice.
Just a little bit under 100. And 2012, here I am. So
okay.
Actually,
2013-ish, 2012-ish.
Well, 2012, actually, I was in like a more of a management type position.
Nice.
Got out of the production.
Why did you choose Houston of all places?
Houston's actually, we just had a daughter.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, she's a 1-year-old.
Okay.
And decided that Houston was the place to be for bringing her up.
Okay.
It's good schools, good economy. Where Orlando was actually declining, both in crime, as well as in the economy and stuff like that. So.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there was anything you could change about Houston, what would you change?
Houston. I mean, I don't know if I would change anything. I really like Houston. At this time, I can't really say I would change anything.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So houses, can you give us a little bit of direction?
The real estate market's doing very well. Not every area, however, most areas are going up about 10-11% in the Houston area.
In the Houston area.
We are the number 1 market right now.
Nice.
Yeah. Right next to first Houston, then San Francisco.
For growth.
For real estate market.
Okay.
Top 5 for real estate, top 5 for economies.
Right.
Obviously, you have oil here, so that helps. Yeah. Yep. As far as the economy, it's awesome, and that helps because obviously the economy is what drives the real estate market.
The economy drives the real estate market.
Mm-hmm. People don't have money; they can't buy houses.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. So, like, if say there's a couple that for first-time buyers, what would somebody need for your services?
They would you need to be able to have a decent credit score.
Okay.
Have a certain amount of income. I'm not a lender. I'm just a realtor.
Yeah. What is a proper credit score?
Proper credit score right now is around a 620.
620.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as far as the income level, that would be more of a lender question.
Okay,
I think,
620.
probably about 50, 60 grand.
What $50,000, $60,000,
Yep.
and a 620 credit score.
Correct.
And you could get a nice home in Houston.
Correct.
Nice.
Yeah, providing that you don't have any, issues on your credit.
Like, what are issues?
Like if you have
Repos,
a judgment or
A judgment,
or
child support, or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So when you're going for these houses in this market, they do a thorough background check of you.
Well, you're talking about buying or selling?
Both.
Okay. When you're selling, no, it's as simple as just give me a call. I do a free evaluation on your house. I'll let you know what it's worth in the market. And then we'll see if it makes sense for you to sell it. I mean, if you can do well enough in this market,
right,
and have enough for whatever your goal is, whether it be getting a new house and putting a down payment,
right,
or whether
the
it be
$50,000 to $60,000.
Right. Well, no.
Okay.
You don't need that much as of a down payment.
Okay.
You need about 3.5% usually.
3.5%.
Up to maybe 10%.
3.5% to 10%.
Yes.
And that will be
That's your
20,000
down payment, depending on how much the house is. On
Okay,
a
for a
$200,000 house, you're looking at 20 grand.
Okay. What about a 60,000? Or are there any $60,000 houses in
Yes.
Houston?
Yeah, there are.
Well, what areas would that be?
As far as the areas, I always recommend that you check the crime rates and stuff like that for safety.
Okay.
I
Check
can't
the
really,
crime rates?
I cannot tell you.
What about real estate that is in a crime-ridden area?
Well, I'm not saying it's crime ridden. However, when you get into that price range, you definitely want to check.
Okay.
Even 150,000, you want to check.
Okay. Yeah, because I was kind of afraid, because the people that watch this network, a lot of them are just middle class. I'll say you got your upper class, you got your lower class. They're between here and here. Mm-hmm. This is the market that we're catering to right now. Okay. So, those are the people that we want to help.
Right.
And, minus the crime, minus the bad things that go on in some of these communities in which I wish y'all would stop. So, Mr. Ucci here is basically explaining to you guys how to better yourselves. If there is crime going on in the community, keep an eye out. Hey, man, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? My kid's getting off the school bus. Don't be selling drugs. Don't let them see you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Plus, in addition to that, you could actually check the crime in the area as well, and I'll help them. I'll lead them in the right direction where they could check the crime as well. Anytime you buy a house, I mean, it's a big investment. So you definitely want to, check the crime and do your due diligence. That's where I come in and I'll help you. I can't do it for you, but I can actually lead you in the right direction and make it easier for you on, whether you want to check the crime or check the schools.
Nice.
So. Yeah.
Okay. So can you let us know a little bit about the reality show. How would you want this to be structured? Like, how would you want this to flow? Do you want to, how is it going to be like, just like $1 Million Listing, or
no, it's actually the very early stages right now, so it'll probably progress as we go.
Nice.
Obviously this is just a starting show that I had as an idea.
Nice.
I think Houston's a cool place.
Right.
I'd like to showcase some of Houston. And obviously showcase some of my listings as well.
Nice.
Make it all about my sellers and all about their listings.
So what numbers do you what do you see in 2014, 2015, 2016? I don't want to time. Hey, that's what I was looking at. Hey, yeah, Houston, appreciate you coming by. We got many friends here, and what we're going to do is we're going to progress, grow, succeed, strive. What do you see? What is your future for? What do you project that you'll do in 2014 or to 2000? Because this isn't just going to air. I don't want people in 2014 hearing us talk about 2013, and I don't want 2015 hearing us talk about. You mean
as far as progression?
Yeah.
As far as the show, as far as me personally,
right.
I'd like to probably do about 50 closed transactions in 2013.
So this whole So 50 in the next 4 or 5 months is what you're saying. Okay, 50 in the next 4 to 5 months. And this is what the reality show is based around those 50. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, obviously we get listings, we showcase the listings, so you know, we'll talk about the neighborhoods, we'll talk about the area, you know, we'll showcase our sellers.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you for choosing Houston, and thank you for coming here. You know.
No problem.
So, like, let me ask you another question. If you had to do your life all over again, what would you do different? What mistakes did you make that you would, if you did everything over, that you wouldn't do this time out?
I don't know if there were mistakes. I would probably start in Houston as opposed to living anywhere else.
That was your biggest mistake, not starting.
I wouldn't say it's a mistake, but you know, like maybe a lack of knowing.
A lack of knowing.
Yeah.
How would you get this knowing?
What was that?
How would you get this knowing? This knowing that you speak of.
I would have probably done the research a little sooner.
The research. Well, I don't understand.
I did a lot of research on what brought me to Houston was I realized where I was, you know, obviously the crime was increasing, the economy was going down.
Where was this?
Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, crime was increasing, the market and the economy was going down. There was a lot of businesses going out of business.
Right.
So what I did after my daughter, kind of had an epiphany, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, really, I should do some research.
Okay.
And find out where the right places to live are.
Right.
So, you know, I found out, you know, where the right places to live are, where the economies are good and they're strong.
Right.
And
the research that you're speaking of is the crime, the schoolings, the zoning, and all this stuff. And you should have done more research on a community before.
On an area.
On an area.
Yeah. You know, you never know. I mean, when you're brought up somewhere.
Right.
You know, like you're brought up, say, wherever you brought up, New York, whatever. You know, you're brought up there, and that's all you know.
Right.
You know, you don't know anything different.
Right.
You know, and when life takes you certain places because of transfers or because you open a business or whatever, life takes you there. You know, you don't always do the research that you're supposed to be doing. So, and you know, you're excited about, you know, maybe a new business venture or whatever it is, and you know, you go to a certain area. Meanwhile, you know, you really actually should, you know, really research it and find out, you know, especially if you're planning.
And how did this turn into a mistake?
I wouldn't say it was a mistake.
For not doing the research? So what part of Orlando where's you
I was actually in one of the nicer parts called Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
And there's crime there?
Yeah, there's crime around. Well, here's the deal. My area wasn't bad, but then, you know, you go outside of my area and, you know, it's in the top 10 for crime. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And I done seen on that first 48 hours.
Oh, right.
You know,
the homeless?
Yeah, man. People
living in buses.
Pookie was outside at 2 in the morning.
Yep.
Man, they was fighting over a dice game.
Yep.
Hello, 911. Man, somebody shot Pookie. Who is this?
Yeah.
Riding around canvassing the neighborhoods.
Did you see the homeless kids?
Man.
Right near my house. It was like one of the highest homeless kids population.
That is not cool.
No, exactly.
So, you know, that's what you're in the business of. You're a non-homeless engineer.
That's right.
If you don't want to be homeless, you call him. You know. So, so all of Houston, you know, today's show was just like, I want y'all to, you know, I know it's just, I'm not trying to say that, you know, I'm not calling y'all the bottom of the map, you know, to the community that we're talking to. You know, we're more concerned with bringing you information, you know, helping you out in the communities, you know, giving you the proper direction on, you know, like learning about your community. You see things going wrong, fix it. You know, I'm not saying snitch. I'm just saying, you know, and you know, your kids are going to experience this stuff. You might be okay, but your children have to walk those streets going back and forth to school. You know, you see a lot of stuff walking those streets, and you know, when it comes time for college, and then, you know, anything in life, when your children get older, they'll revert to what they've seen visually. They might do it subconsciously, react, you know, if they're walking by a park going to school and they see people out there shooting dice and slanging drugs, you know what I'm saying? If they shoot for something and fail, then they will revert back to, I seen them boys, I'm over here working to get a degree, and these guys over here with a pocket full of cash sitting in a park all day smoking weed. You know, it's kind of enticing, but it shouldn't be done type thing. So I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. If you like to sit in a park and smoke weed, you know, I wish you, you know, the best of luck. But, you know, anyone that, you know, hopefully you can see this, you know, you youngsters out there, you want to be like him, okay? The things he said, you know, his look. You emulate people like this that are about success, have a sense of purpose in life. And, you know, once we see, you know, once this reality show, Houston's Next Listing, is constructed, I want Houston, I want your eyes the size of paper plates on that television, okay? And, you know, I don't want no one complaining, talking about they were left behind, because the information is right here in your face.
You can always do the right thing.
Is there anything you want to say to Houston?
Just always do the right thing.
Oh, yeah. Always do the right thing. So, other than that, you know, everything is going good. You know, we're both happy. You know, we're all coming up as you know, we're training you, letting you know about, you know, the market, the housing market, you know, the 10% and, you know, how much money you would need for down payments, you know, so you could get a home. You know, I know some of y'all don't want to live with your parents for the rest of your life. You know, I know you're going to be wanting to get out of there, you know, and you have your own life to do your own things with and enjoy yourself, you know, while you're here in Houston. Okay. So remember, you know, once you're in the market for buying houses, you know, you check the community, you check out everything that's going on around there. And, you know, and even if you don't have enough money and you have to go into a lower grade neighborhood, be that example. And, you know, minus the pride, don't move into a neighborhood because you know your neighbors should be your friends. You know, in the Bible it says love thy neighbor. So don't, you know, once you move in there, just be an example and, you know, God be with you, you know. So I'm very happy about that, okay? So, and another thing, while you're youngsters out there, you watch your credit, you know, if there's, you know, cars, repos, you know, cell phones, credit cards, you know, when you're young, don't destroy your credit. And some of you parents out there, don't be careful when you put things in those children's names. Okay, so put those things. Be careful when you put those things in those children's name, because that could turn around and, you know, evictions. You know, all that stuff. You know, comes
The best
back.
thing to do is don't get any credit at all.
Oh.
Pay cash for everything.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you look at like the, you know, we have very cultural here in Houston. One thing that I love about the area, and, you know, you have, you know, the India culture, right? And, you know, they don't buy anything on credit.
Okay.
You got the Asian market, right?
Right.
They don't buy anything on credit. They try to avoid credit at all costs. That's the best thing to do. If you can pay cash for everything, pay cash for everything.
Cash, much cash as possible. Be careful of your credit ratings. You know, I know I'm speaking slow, but a lot of y'all are clicking in and clicking out, fading in and fading out. And, you know, we're going forward, and we speak with action. People like us, you don't see us talking to many or have many friends, because, you know, there are people out there that, you know, confusion, conflict. I want to be better than, nobody's trying to be better than nobody. Okay. So, do you have a website if anybody needed to contact you? Houston, listen up. I'm sure he'd be open to teach you, you know, show you the proper steps. And, you know, if you wanted to get a piece of Houston and live a nice, productive life, you know, successful achievement, growth. What is your website?
A couple websites.
Nice.
For buyers, it's freehousefind.com. Freehousefind.com.
Okay, there'll be the words on the bottom of the screen as he says them.
And the other one is for sellers, which if you're looking to sell a house, it's extraordinaryluxuries.com.
Extraordinaryluxuries.com. Those will be at the bottom of the screen, okay? So have your pen and paper ready, have everything situated, and, you know, just make sure, you know, living here in Houston, if you're new to Houston, make sure you hit them up. You know what I'm saying? And it's free. The information is free, okay? We're here for you guys. You know, so, you know, I know just because you didn't know what to do, that lack of knowledge can be very, very detrimental to a community, okay? And we don't want that. So tell Houston some more information, man.
You know, if you need to buy or sell, give me a call. My number is 713-702-2092, 713-702-2092. You know, again, I'm here for you, so if you need anything, just give me a call or shoot me an email.
And again, this is the star of the reality hit series, Houston's Next Listing. Okay? So, thank you, and make sure to get that information off the bottom of the screen. And we look forward to your responses. You know, it ain't stopping here. You know, there's gonna be classes. There's gonna be, you know, transition programming. You know, so FYI, if you don't know what a liaison is, he is a liaison to get in a life that you would need plus deserve. Okay, so you utilize, you know, his services. The sooner you do that, the better off you guys will be. You want to tell Houston bye, or you want to say anything else to Houston?
You know, as far as Houston, I mean, we're going to be showcasing a lot on this Houston's Next Listing, showcasing, you know, what Houston's all about, what's cool about Houston. So, you know, and obviously we're going to do it based around my listings. So you'll get to see, you know, what's cool about Missouri City. You'll get to see what's cool about, you know, Sugarland or whatever community we get our next listing in. So it'll be exciting. So keep an eye on that.
Evan, which real estate agent should we use to sell our home and buy a new one?
That's easy, Mommy. Ucci.
Why, Evan?
Because Roy will guarantees our services. Come in, Mommy.